Hi, my name is Darren Butlett, and I love discussing African affairs, especially when it comes to current affairs on the African continent. All you have to do is support me by subscribing on this channel so that you don't miss out any story on any day, because this I do daily. Now, let me come to Uganda, where over 51 presidential aspirants have picked their nomination forms from the Electoral Commission, the electoral body that conducts elections in Uganda, to be able to vie for presidency in Uganda. And when I talk about 51, I'm talking about people also as young as 20 years of age who feel they have the right vision for the country like Uganda to take over and change things from what they are today. And it's not the first time we've had someone very young in their 20s to run for presidency in Uganda here, because Katumba, who ran for presidency in 2021 here, well, came almost last in the whole presidential race, and he picked the nominations of forms again because he wants to run for presidency again. But here's the thing that I must say: the reason we are having so many young people in their 20s trying to vie for presidency here is because the constitution was amended to accommodate people as long as they have finished their senior six and they're 18 years and above. Senior six is the last level before you join university in Uganda. And that's why we saw very young people, like the ones you can be seeing on your screen here.
Uganda's politics is a set of political fiasco mogi. This is the Madan deficit. We are in the state of Rugumburas. We are in the state of political fiasco moho. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are in the debilitating, lobotomizing, and ignominious political political higo the people, political toxida bidam, political hura baru, a political open a door of very saga, kumgaga twangaga. Some against the William has come to eradicate that.
Those are the people who decided that they can't vie for the office of the president. But here's the problem that I have with such an amendment. You will not have serious people coming into the office, or probably they are not sound enough, or they are not ready for the president comes with such the highest office on the land. Now, people may think, oh yeah, President Yoweri Museveni came when he was young, but this guy was a leader before he even took power. By the time you lead a rebel group, go to the bush and maybe take them, or let's say take them for training and then go to the bush and lead them into a war that brings you to power, that kind of leadership is exceptional. Most people have no those kind of leadership skills. But again, I have listened to the manifestos of some of these presidential aspirants, and I must say they have no idea what the real world is, and they are actually dreaming. They think that you can become a leader and then eventually start to think of what to do for a country. But all this is because the amendment was made. Now, the amendment that was made, I think 2019, meant that you can have a presidential candidate as old as whatever they want to be, even if it's 100 years, as long as someone feels they are fit and able to rule the country, they can stand for presidency. Then also, as long as you are above 18 years of age, you can stand for presidency. And that means it invites people, the possibility of inviting people who are not much aware of the situation that happens in Uganda, on what governance means, and so many other principles that come with diplomacy and being a president. It's just a very difficult thing. And this is not a head prefect thing. This is not being a head boy at school. So when we have candidates picking nomination forms at that age, it's very difficult for me to even think about, if they became a president, what would it be like? Let me tell you something what happened. In Ireland, there was one of the youngest prime ministers before, did not rule for long. I think it was a she. She didn't rule for long, and then she was out of the of power. In Madagascar, there was a DJ, very young guy. He was about 27 at that time. He became a president. But guess what? He was thrown out of the place. So being young and being able to lead an office at that level demands so much, and there's a lot of compromise, there's a lot of pressure. You're leading the army because you're the chief in command of the army. I don't think it's such a wise thing, but that's just my opinion. But the news is, we have 51 people who are trying to run for presidency, including President Yoweri Museveni, Robert Chagulanyi, and Katumba. Those three were in the last presidential race, but I'm sure we shall have people like Muntu also come back. We are likely to have people like Mathias Mpuga. We are likely to have people like Nandala Mafari, if they pick their forms. So I see some astute figures in the race, but they will also be likely, if they manage to pay the 20 million that is required for you to run for such an office, likely we shall have some young, people in their 20s trying to run for office. So it's a tough one. But maybe it's a time where you think that the young people can take on the country and be able to provide the leadership that is needed and probably the development and the dream of the youngest population in the whole world, which is Uganda. 70% of the population is actually very young. So it's a difficult position, but let's see what that can do. My name is Darren Bartlett. You can subscribe for more so that you don't have to miss out on the information that I'm providing.